All right, we're trying to find Synchron a home, right? Because we're still waiting for the Junk Meister that's going to come out next year. But for now, we're trying to find Synchron a home. So we're going to try to find as many supplementary engines as possible to see which one fits the best. I was made aware of this on live stream. It was by Dark Lucian. I was like, I've showed you guys a Mitsurugi variant a few weeks ago, and Dark Lucian made me aware of this. Because usually the way I would bridge Mitsurugi into Synchron, it was pure luck, right? You have to mill off Vampire and hopefully hit something, which is not efficient as you would like it to be, because it's random, right? So you might hit it, you might not. The odds are there, but you want something certain. And I did not know that this XYZ did this. I assumed it would only search a specific type. So I was like, oh no, this guy can't search that, but it can search any level 4, which means it can search your Stardust Synchron, which is huge. So okay, so something to keep in mind throughout the sequence. You're going to try and not be as impacted by Nibiru as possible, because if they drop Nibiru here, watch, this is where you reach the 5th summon. Okay, you bring back your Serpent. Okay. So they can drop Nibiru here. But if they drop Nibiru here, you still only used 1 card. And then now this will float. It'll get you access to the trap. They're still at a minus, which is great. So, but let's say they don't drop the Nibiru because they're still waiting. I'm not sure what they will. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, this guy searches a level 4 monster because we have 3 materials. I mean, it'd be awesome if we can find a way to get 4, because that means we can add anything, which would be insane. But for the most part, the important fact is going to be the 3rd one. Add 1 level 4 monster from your deck to your hand. And who is level 4? Stardust Synchron is level 4. Okay, so right here, you're always oppressing them with the fact that you'll trigger your Mirakumo if they do drop Nib. Okay, same thing with Futsu. If they try to Nib you here, Futsu will trigger, revive itself, and get you access to your trap, okay? And then get back your Mirakumo. So you want to make sure that the Futsu stays on field, and you don't want to tribute it, because it's even enticing to tribute it off, because it just fits so well, which is why I even considered it, because all of these cards trigger when they're tributed and start as tributes, so it just made sense, right? And you just use them as a climb to the higher levels, like your Blazar, the Vengeance, right? Or like even the SMSD. Okay, so then this is where you go for Stardust. You go for fellows, right? At any given point, it doesn't matter if they do drop the Nib, because you're always going to go plus, right? Always. Because Futsu will get you your trap. This will get you your Rumble, right? If they drop Nib here, you're still going to revive with Futsu, get your trap. So you're still in the clear. You still have something. You're not Mytsync. You're still being interactive. Okay. So this is going to get to the point where now they have no choice but to drop the Nib. Because once you're here, you're threatening Herald. Okay, and Herald is an insane card in this deck because it helps bridge both engines. I'll be showing you guys those combos later. So now they have to drop Nib here. So at the very least, you're gonna get Futsu and a trap, regardless. So then now you go for your Herald. You go for the Mirror because you have Herald to protect yourself from Nib. And you go for Habakiri, trigger your Futsu. Futsu will revive itself. And then you go into Rumble. Rumble will then revive the Junk, and you go into for your Jura. And then finally, you get your Crimson Dragon effect, targeting the Jura, giving you access to a level 11, which is your SMSD. So this is going to be your end board off of 1 card. Okay, 1 card. It's not a Synchron combo, but it gave you access to a Synchron, which is great because you're only investing 1 card. So if you had the rest of your cards be like actual Synchron, then maybe you can make the board better. But for 1 card, you have triple Omni. You have this, you have double Nuke off of 1 card. That's insane. And now let me show you how the other cards do it as well. And now it's going to be with Habakiri. The difference is that you don't have to use your normal summon, but you have to use it later in the turn. Preferably, it'd be good to start with this, because that means you can possibly have Fullspeed as an extender, which is what you want to do. Resolving your Fullspeed is insanely, it's just way better. Like the Mitsurugi stuff is cool, but you're usually going to be primarily using it for bait, right? Because it is good, but like it's just there to supplement a hindered sequence, right? In case you do get stopped, so you can use it as a pivot. And the good thing about it is you can go primary or secondary, which is why it's good. Okay, so then once again, right once you're here, you are oppressing them with the float, so they have to contemplate whether they want to go and drop the Nib. And then you go Stardust, tribute the version, get access to your fellows gets Chick and your Junk. And then you go into your Crimson, And then once again, you're still oppressing them with this. Like, if they want to drop Nib, like, you're still going to get your Futsu back, your trap back. You only invested one card, right? And if it lets you get that past this point, then you have more resources to go with. And then you go for Herald now. You activate the mirrors. This is important because you need to get access to the second body. Otherwise, you're going to have to use the Futsu as the Synchro fodder for your Jura, which is not ideal. You want to be able to just leave it on field to revive your Murakumo on their turn. You go Crimson, target your Jura. And then we have this exact same board. You have triple Omni, multiple revives. You have the nuke, Murakumo nuke, pretty good. And this one's going to be very similar to the Habakiri line, except you'll get access to prayers, which can be very beneficial because it gives you a bit of grind. You can revive. I mean, regardless, you can revive with your purification the following turn. But just having prayers as a reborn the following turn is so useful. Because then that means you can decide when you want to use the nuke and not be forced by it, right? And then you can possibly revive your Futsu if they somehow got rid of it. So I think prep is probably the best way to do this combo because of that. Because the other combos didn't give you access to prayers, whereas this one does. Because you don't have to search for the mirror, but then you just search for the prayers, right? And you go for immersion, search for your Stardust. You can literally search any level 4, right? Any level 4. That's crazy. So like you can possibly use this sequence for anything. If you need to search a level 4 and you don't need to use your normal summon, then you can take this route. Seems like it's pretty damn good. Okay. So we're gonna get to the point where we have mirror. We usually have to search it, but in this case, we just don't have to search it. We can just search prayers instead, which is, as I mentioned, is just huge. Just a reborn. It's so versatile, a card. It's so versatile. Get Rumble. Go Fellow's Effect, reduce. And once again, if they have Nib, it doesn't matter, right? We're just going to get our guy back. Everything's fine. Go for Herald now. Tribute. We need the second body to climb into the Jura, which we get the foods to, and this is where we get our prayers, right? And the other combos you didn't have access to prayers, but yeah. This is insane. Off of one card, this is crazy. Yeah, because I was like on version, and then I was trying to figure out the sequence of how to do it, and then I was like, oh, the Herald, and then that was like seal the deal. Oh, that's awesome. Like, what do you do? A triple Omni, you can revive, you have multiple revives and a nuke, and multiple nukes. It's just crazy. Okay, so the prayers is the one that needs a bit of luck. But if you do, at the bare minimum, why wouldn't you try to get it, right? Because if you do get it, then you can do full combo, okay? So all you're trying to do now is establish a vampire opposed to getting the rank 4, right? So that's all you're trying to do now. You're trying to get enough bodies to synchro with and then have access to the level 8 to make your vampire. So this is going to be a little bit luck-based, RNG, right? But you'll see what I mean. Well, it's only one card invested, but you're still going to get 2 interactions regardless, right? Okay, so you go for Murakumo, revive your Habakiri. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Like, you only invested 1 card, right? You only invested 1 card. So this is where you go SP, okay? So the X-Ray is very different, and this is why it's so versatile, because if you don't, you have options to pivot. And the reason you do this is because you need to be able to trigger this guy and get back your interaction that you would have. What, you see what I mean? Mirror will then tribute the Murakumo, reviving or ritual summoning again your Habakiri, and then this will get you your prayers. So at the bare minimum, right? At the bare minimum, if you whiff off of this vampire, you still are ahead because you have access to the board wipe and an SP. So why wouldn't you try to risk it? It's still an interaction. The safer play would be what? What would be the safer play? Just go for it, okay? So I'm gonna be showing you guys 2 variations. One if you hit full speed, and then one if you hit Stardust, okay? So just don't mind the graveyard. That's just there to just give you indication of what happens if you hit this, what happens if you hit this, you know, if you hit this type of situation. First off is going to be your full speed, okay? And this level 4 is going to be quite important. It took me a while to figure this out, but I eventually managed to do so. You can go ahead and get Scrap Warrior and get your Junk Synchron reduced to get the additional summon. And remember, this is not one card, and with a bit of luck, but nonetheless, if you have prayers and you are capable of doing this, okay? Potentially. Okay, tribute the vampire, get access to your... Go SD, SD revives. You then go into your Jura, right? You go into a Stardust. You go into your Crimson. Get Rumble. Target that. Get access to your... With a bit of luck, like, why wouldn't you risk it? Because at the bare minimum, you'll have access to prayers and your SP and a board wipe off of one card, right? So you're not going minus. So just try to risk it. And if you do hit, that's what you get with full speed. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if you have the possibility of doing it, then just go for it. Because at the very least, you'll get interactions, right? At the bare minimum, because that's the whole reason you're initiating something, to get a form of established presence, right? So now, we're going to do the same thing, but except this time, I'm going to show you what happens if you hit Stardust, because it'll vary. The lines are different, right? So you go ahead and get access to that. Okay, that is very important, in which you have to dump those two in particular so you can have Kusanagi. That's very important, because just keep that in mind. And then you go ahead and add back your ritual. Summon out your Murakumo, trigger your Habakiri, and then once again, you're right here. Okay, you're right here. You go into SP. Right? And once again, if they try to drop Nib at any given point, then at least at the bare minimum, you have access to your Trap and your Murakumo and possibly an SP. Okay? So they're gonna have to decide whether they want to drop the Nib or not, okay? So then now, you're gonna go ahead and try to gamble, right? This is like our Chaos Ruler. So this is what happens when you hit Stardust, okay? If you hit Stardust, you get Fellows. You're gonna go ahead and go for your Stardust. We're not gonna go for ST. We're gonna save ST, okay? Of course, full speed gives you like additional junk synchron, but in this case, it's still fine though. Off of one card with a bit of luck, it's still fine. And you get reduce your Crimson, additional summon. You're gonna go for your Excel, and this is where it's crucial because this is gonna give you another Omni opposed to the other one. The other one didn't give you the double Omni, so you're basically supplementing the Omega or the Crystal Wing or the level 8 that you would have made for a second Omni through the Assault Synchron. Okay, so they're still pretty good. There's still the same amount of interactions because this guy's double Omni. So you have double Omni, board wipe, and a spot removal with SP. With a bit of luck, like that's not so bad. That's pretty damn good. And you're board wiping. Like go in second, you can board wipe the Murakumo, and you'll have access to other cards as well. Because this is a singular card. You can have like 4 or 5 hand traps and then just 1 prayers, and you can possibly pull it off. And then, of course, I'll show you like what you do with the Synchron portion, right? Stardust is like by far the weakest starter because if you're not playing like Wheel or if you're not playing like the plant stuff, you are very limited in what you can make because you have to facilitate the Mitsurugi portion of your deck as well, which means it's non-synchros. Otherwise, you would have room to make something more, you know. So it's gonna be a weird line where you have to at least establish the board wipe with the double Omni at the bare minimum. So like, if you think this is enough, that's fine, right? At the bare minimum, one Stardust equals double Omni and a board wipe. Like we're so spoiled to think that that's not enough. Like. You know, it's insane, but yeah, you know, it's just so good. It's crucial that you make a Crystal Wing there because you need to revive it, make your guy. Okay, then now you're here, and it feels odd having to use your Dispatter like that, but you know, what would you rather have, the Dispatter or Majestic, right? Like, who would you rather have? And then possibly like later you can make an Omega and then recycle your Rumble. Rumble can revive your Crystal Wing, right? It's in rotation now, but yeah, this is what you do with Wooden Stars. All you play. Like, if you don't play the Wheel, if you play the Wheel, then you can do something better, but the Brick, right? So I don't know. Okay, and this is where it starts to get insane. Okay, this is where because remember I had mentioned that the Synchron portion can bridge you into the Mitsurugi as well. and that's why it works. Think of it kind of like how you know how Jack recently got the support where you can add Lubellion or you can add Habakiri. Well, we can do that too. We've been playing this little guy for quite some time, for the longest time. Before anyone would even consider using Herald the way we would use it. And Synchron, right? It would be our part of our board, part of our build board. Okay, so it's very important that you revive your Fullspeed, because you had an option to revive this, but you have to revive this because it gives you access to, you'll see, this little guy. And this little guy is how we bridge. If this guy gets banned, this line won't be possible. You won't be able to bridge into Mitsurugi, but nonetheless, he's lived a good life, so it's fine. It's fine. So now you have to sequence it in a way where it's proper. Otherwise, you're gonna have the wrong levels, and it's gonna make it really awkward for you to sequence. So just bear in mind that some of this has to be kind of fixed, like being able to use that to convert it into your Dispatter. If you play Gen X, you can play Gen X, but you want to do it or just hand rip instead, right? And you tribute. Go for your trail, and then this is insane. Like you're doing full Synchron combo, and then you just have this Habakiri loaded. Like it's just like, how do they beat that? That's just insane. Off of one card, all right? One card is doing this. One card. So if your Fullspeed resolves, this is what you get. And then finally, you sequence out the Mitsu stuff, which is going to be the same thing. You can have your trap, you have your Futsu, you know? So good. And your go for ritual, summon out the Mirakumo, trigger, revive, activate mirror. Oh no, we don't activate mirror, we just revive with rumble, and then we go for SMSD, and then we want to make sure we establish our Futsu. So we tribute off the Mirakumo, and then we're gonna get access to our trap, and then this is gonna be our board. Like, how crazy is that? SMSD just to seal the deal. Like, you hand rip for one. I mean, you can possibly hand rip for two if you really want to. But, like, look at this. We have what? One? Well, this is two Omnis because of the assault. So one, that's two, three. This is kind of like an Omni. It's a hand rip. Well, we're technically hand ripping twice because they have to discard a card if they want this to resolve, right? You have Crystal Wing, you have board wipe. Oh, is it insane? One card. That's crazy. All right, and this is gonna be the last one, okay? Last combo, but I have to show you with every single one card starter that you can do what is possible, okay? And I don't want to hear it. One hand trap, Imperm says hi, Ash says hello. I don't want to hear that, okay? I understand, but I just want to show you what's possible, okay? That's all I'm doing. I know it's not resilient. If you get Imperm there, fine. You have extension, but the point is, because you have so many one card starters, that means you can flood your deck with non-engine, right? Because you have so many one card starters. Okay, so then you go ahead and go for this. Is pretty cool. Like the moment I found out, like, when we started to do that, it was insane, man. It was insane. It was like a clear mind moment because I was like, oh my god, a trails of dragon, we can make that. It was insane. That was so cool. Okay, and then tribute that to trigger our trail. Trail's amazing. Trail. What do you want me to do? Okay, so you mill. You're gonna go ahead and go for your Herald, and this is how you're gonna bridge into your Mitsu, right? So both lines give you access to your Mitsu, right? It's layered. That's what you want, because otherwise people will be saying, "Oh, Dark Ruler evenly." Ooh. Like, no, bro. What are you talking about? I'm gonna negate it with the trap, and then I'm gonna negate evenly with the other thing, you know, and I'm fine. Okay, don't worry about it. It's just scoop. Fine. You still got game 2 and game 3, maybe game 2. Okay, then you go for your mirror. what was that imitation? What was that? What was that? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell happened there. I don't know. Okay, so then you go Mirakumo. And then you go Futsu. Go revive your Futsu. Go to Ritual Summon Futsu. Get access to your trap. Right? And you need the body. So... yeah. Okay. You can go ahead and revive. Get access to your Jura. Go for SMSD. Revive your Omega. You have double hand rip. On their turn, you will return your trail, maybe your Stardust, depending on if you have another Stardust engraved. So it'll give you fellow. So you'll most likely return your trail just for follow-up because she can trigger, right? And then since you saw the extra deck, well, I'll show you the deck list, but that's what you can do with this variant. It's awesome. I think once I get the core, so I'm yet to get the core, I think I'll be playing this a lot. Just keep refining and so on. But let me show you the list. All right, so here's the list. It's 60 cards. Don't get scared. Just try it. And then let me know what you think. Because at face value, you're just like, oh my god, look at all the bricks. But no, it's consistent. It's pretty good. So, first and foremost, I was initially playing Geldogra, but because of this guy, we want level 4s. And this is a level 2. Although it does pair with your Scrap Synchron, you kind of be able to bridge your Mitsurugi stuff through this. For your Synchron, right? Because you saw what it can do. Just getting access to one Stardust is insane, right? So that's why I ended up cutting it. And then I started to test this one because it's level 4. But then I was like, oh, nah, the only one I really want to normal summon is this one. I don't want to have multiple normal summons. If it's this one, it's fine. This one card combo does way more than a Manju does, which is so obvious. For the most part, you have so many starters, right? You have your Aramasa, Habakiri, Prayers, Prep, Tuning, right? And then, because these were Manjus at first, but because if you open up this and you're full speed, that means you can normal summon full speed and then you just have Habakiri do the other line. So that's why it just seemed better that way. I was like, this is much better because I'm preserving my normal summon. I can just normal summon full speed. The trap, you can choose to side it maybe. I just like the fact that I can search an out for droplets or dark cooler, some sort of breaker. And then of course you have your other starters, right? You have Tuning, Fellows, Full Speed, Rhoda, Stardust, Double Junk, Revolution. You can get away with not playing Revolution. You can probably put it more non-engine, I guess, but it can't come up. It gives you access to the Herald sometimes when you have to make it with reduced trail with Illumination. Go Herald there, then it comes up there. Salts, your Scrap. I thought of maxing it out, but I think 2's fine. You have triple tuning, you have this as well. You just want one to search and then one to summon off speeder. Otherwise, it makes your climbing a bit odd. And then the chick, Stardust and Illumination, Rumble, and then of course your non-engine. You have your cross out, fold by, and of course your Gamma. I categorize these the same. I have 3 cards that can stop these cards, right? Which is on, and then of course the brick. Non-engine, you can change it if you want. Let's get to the extra deck, because the extra deck is the one that's a bit more interesting, because you're playing this. Because usually when you play a speeder deck, you can't really play non-synchros, but this is for this. That's solely for the prayer line. Because if you don't have either of these, then prayers doesn't really get you anywhere. So that's why it's there. And then of course you have your synchros. Scrap, Herald, Excel, Speeders, Double Stardust, Omega, Crystal Wing. This is debatable. You can probably cut this, play something else. But the ones you need is going to be the Spatter, Jura, Majestic, and your Crimson Dragon. Because initially, this SP and this Vampire were Blazar and Vengeance. But then, as I mentioned, I came across this combo. I was like, oh, what can I do with this? I can do anything. Then I ended up flopping it. Just took that out. But that's basically the list. Go ahead and try it out. Let me know what you think. Make some changes. And keep me updated and see what you do. See what you find. I know Dark Lucian was the one that was like, try Alan Burschen. I was like, and that complete changed. It just changed the whole deck. You were playing the deck as is, but without this. So that means Habakiri would not get you access to Stardust, but now it does, which is huge. And I like it. It's pretty cool. Anyways, that's gonna be it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching.